I'm ABC2 meteorologist Mike Masco, Thursday Weather Blog. Want to talk about next week because I think things are going to get pretty interesting. There's going to be two storm systems we're going to be watching, a Monday into Tuesday and then another one for Wednesday into Thursday. It's going to be two waves of an area of low pressures that are going to come off the southern jet stream. The first one is going to try to tie in with some cold air, and I think the second one's going to develop along an Arctic boundary, and that's probably going to be the better shot for seeing some kind of a snow event along the I-95 cities. The first event probably going to be maybe a wintry mix as you get north and west of I-95. So I want to show you a couple of forecast models. This is the new Canadian forecast as we go into Monday evening, showing that first wave coming through. Now you can notice again, here's the area of low pressure off the coast. Now, it's not a very strong system. You have the cold air working up towards the north of that, so that's why I think there could be some cold air locked into, say, western Maryland as you get into south central Pennsylvania, into the Lehigh Valley, into the Poconos, allowing for a wintry mix, maybe ending as a period of some snow. But this storm system is actually going to move pretty quickly out, and then it's out of here, and then the cold air is going to start to move in. If we take a look and show you this slide, let's see if I can move these slides along. This is the GFS showing us probability of precipitation. Notice again the freezing line going right over south central Pennsylvania and into the western Maryland mountains. And here comes another very cold area of high pressure, another Canadian high coming down from the northern plains, and that's what's going to sink south. So the first wave, it's a weak area of low pressure. It's going to bring in rainy conditions along the 95 cities with a mixing as you get north and west of that. But if you look on the GFS, you see evidence of another area of low pressure trying to develop right along that thermal gradient as you go over into North Texas and into the Rockies. And the timing is going to have to be right for this storm to develop. We have, again, a piece of energy that's going to try to come across the northern jet stream. You're going to see this storm developing along the southern jet stream, and the question is timing perfect to develop an area of low pressure offshore? And that's what the models are kind of fighting with, that idea of whether that can actually be a solution that will come to fruition as we go forward. If you take a look back at the Canadian, I want to show you this is valid Wednesday night into Thursday morning, showing that there is an area of low pressure off the coast. Look at all the cold air draining south. You have a big Canadian high sitting over southern Hudson Bay. You have another Clipper system behind that, so that's even colder air behind that going into next weekend. But I want you to also notice how strung out this system is, how many lows that the model's depicting. So I don't know if the Canadian's doing a good job bundling its energy. I don't think the reality of this is going to be 1, 2, 3 storms, but more so one and much closer to the coast. If we take a look and show you the GFS, this is the depiction of Wednesday night to Thursday, same time period, 12Z. Notice where it has the low, down towards the south with a huge negative, a huge area of low pressure sitting just south of Hudson Bay. This would be some tremendous overpowering cold air with a high sitting across southeastern Canada. My problem with the GFS right now is it's keeping the low down to the south. It has overpowering cold. And notice again this low that it has south of Hudson Bay trying to drill into an area of high pressure. Now, that really doesn't make sense in the weather community. The high is a 1025 millibar. The low is at 1,000 millibar. This high is a little bit much stronger, and you don't usually pull these lows into these highs like this. In fact, in reality, this low or Clipper system or piece of energy would be further down towards the south. It wouldn't drill it right into this high. So position of the high is going to be key. That's going to dictate where the northern energy goes, so the northern jet stream energy goes, and how it phases together with that southern system as we go into next week. This is the European, a little more aggressive with the storm. First, it's showing the first system Monday into Tuesday showing showery activity. Again, the thicknesses are marginal along south central Pennsylvania, so rain snow mixture. But watch what happens as we move the timeline on the European going into that Thursday event. So Wednesday into Thursday, this is actually showing Thursday afternoon, a coastal storm developing. I don't think that the reality of this 540 thickness being this far west, but we're going to see a lot of cold air drilling down. It has a pretty good look on the coastal storm developing just to the south and east of Atlantic City, and this would be a snowstorm. And the reason I think that the Europeans got a better handle on this system, and I'm not just playing the whole bias card towards the European, but I'm thinking because that first system that kicks out is going to strengthen south of Greenland, that's actually going to build the height field over western Greenland and into eastern Canada. So when you build in this height, you're going to deepen this trough much deeper across the eastern United States, and that would allow for the energy to dig, and that would allow for us to phase together the storm. So right now I'm kind of leaning more towards the coastal idea. We don't know exact track. I mean, in terms of coastal, if it's a storm that develops off the Hatteras and goes out, still a coastal storm. A nor'easter would be a storm that went right up the coast and caused a 6 to 12 plus inch snow event across the eastern United States. So lots to talk about. Next week is going to be active. First storm Monday into Tuesday looks to be rainy, and then this Wednesday into Thursday situation might be a lot different of a scenario that we're thinking. So we'll talk more about that tonight on ABC News at 6.